Hey, you guys. I just wanted to hop in here really quick. So I've been working on a webinar to try to help with audits and how to avoid problems with audits. And part of that, I was going to do a recap of my Optum review. But I just saw Sally's post that she just got a request for a review. So I wanted to put this out there real quick. I know we have office hours tomorrow. But Sally, I meant to tag you in this. Let me see if I could tag you at Sally. Okay, I'm going to tag you. So what I have in the notes to this is like a really rough draft. This is my rough draft and my note for my presentation I wanted to do. But I wanted to, Sally, specifically, I wanted to go over this with you. So the first part is what they asked me in the review, the initial review that I had. There's all these questions here, so be prepared for all of these questions at the top. Is she still in active treatment? Primary diagnosis? Is there it says secondary symptoms. Is there a secondary diagnosis? All kinds of questions. So if you see that, those are just your basic questions, like your assessment. So really refresh with that stuff before you get on the phone with them. The thing that caused me the problem was if you scroll down in everything I just posted, there's a part that says, what are your treatment goals for her? So I thought she was just like chit-chatting with me. And I was like, well, she's working on PTSD symptoms and getting, stronger with her boundary setting. We've been doing some EMDR. Like, I was very non-specific with it. And they didn't like that, but I'll get into that. And then what kind of progress has she made since you've started seeing her? I was very vague with this too. I was like, well, she's much better at her boundaries. Her flashbacks have decreased. She says no to her abusive husband. I really got into that kind of stuff. I said it that way. But if you read further down in my notes, basically they wanted my specific treatment goals, and they wanted me to read them to the reviewer. So I'll get back to that in a second. And then they wanted to know if I was seeing her virtual or not. And I said yes, that wasn't a problem. The two problems were the treatment goals, and I was vague with the progress. And let me scroll down a little bit more so I can tell you this, Sally. I'm just trying to help you with this review when it's coming up. There's more information in this if you read through it, everything they asked me, and then you'll see like a line. And that's where I got a message back from them that said they were able to staff my clinical, and they were going to have to refer it to a peer review because it did not meet clinical guidelines. So when I called back, you'll see another line under that. The reasons they gave me for not meeting the clinical criteria was review of the treatment goals. My rationale was not good enough for them, basically. I need to go through and edit this some, but also my specific measurable goals. And they told me we have to be careful not to cue the answers. So they're not going to say to you, what are the measurable treatment goals? But you need to basically say, okay, let me pull up my treatment plan and read through every single measurable treatment goal. Then they said that I implied that progress was not being made in the statements I made to the reviewer, which actually was not true. I was very specific. I said I used to see her once a week, then twice a week, then I stepped her down to once a week. But really, I found out later what they wanted was to hear why I was still doing 90837's and why I had stepped her down to a 90834. And then let's see, what else did they say? And they wanted a discharge plan from me. They just asked me, like, what's your discharge plan? And I said, well, I think she's probably going to need treatment for a long time. I was real vague with that. They wanted very specific answers to that. So they told me they wanted my complete discharge plan. Is there a step-down approach that I was going to be using with her? And then they said we need to see where they have stepped down in the treatment progress. So also they said the symptoms need to support the frequency. So they weren't very specific about that, but I just wanted to let you know about that. And then when I actually had the clinical review, the reviewer was saying, did they talk to you about the use of a 90837? This is the first time I've had this with Optum. They used to require authorization. They don't anymore. But he basically told me that you know, they don't tell you you need authorization, but you kind of need authorization to do, unless you're meeting very specific criteria. And he even said in the phone call, it's confusing because they used to require auth, now they don't. So now he said that a lot of providers are getting into trouble because they're not following the criteria. So he told me in Provider Express, you go to behavioral clinical policies and you'll see the extended sessions criteria. And then he said there's 4 areas to meet for an extended session, which is a 90837 in their eyes. But he went through about 7 things they were looking for. So I put them all here in these notes too. Again, these, oh, look, I'm all flushed. I just got out of the shower. I have a client. This is like a really brief version, but Sally, I just wanted to tell you about this. I am working on this, but since you have the review coming up, I wanted to give you this outline today. And remind you that in the group, under the file section, I put something that shows what a measurable goal is versus a non-measurable goal. So if you're going to be working on your treatment plan, make sure you look at that first. Okay, I hope this helps. I know this a lot real quick. I've got a client right now. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.